the lawyer needs to do the things necessary to put the pressure on the insurance company to force them to pay what they should on your case. One question that has crossed the mind of anyone who's ever had any type of personal injury case is, when should we settle, or should we settle at all? So in this video, we're going to talk about timing as it relates to settlement in a personal injury case. The first thing to look at as it relates to a personal injury case and when to settle on timing would be how much insurance coverage is available. And so in a scenario where, let's say, there's not enough coverage to fully and adequately compensate someone for their injuries, that's a scenario where you're probably going to settle relatively early on in the process. And that would only be if the insurance company agrees to pay every cent that's available on the policy. So really, the bigger topic that I want to discuss in this video relates to the situation where there's lots and lots of insurance coverage available, and that's not really an issue in the case. And so as it relates to that scenario and when you should settle, there are a few things that you should look at. Number one would be, you want to understand that settling a personal injury case is what we call an all-time decision, meaning it's a decision that you make once and you can never come back. And so what we tell clients here as we're having this conversation with them is, hey, you need to understand that hypothetically, if we settle your case tomorrow, and then the day after that, you have a really bad flare-up with your injuries and you need additional medical treatment or you need surgery. If we've settled your case, we can't come back and ask for more money for the insurance company. And so understanding that it's an all-time decision is really crucial when determining timing. And so once you understand that it is an all-time decision, the second most important thing would be you want to make a fully informed decision, right? So most people understand that and would agree they want to make a really fully informed decision and the absolute best decision for their particular circumstances. And so one of those factors would be having a full and complete 100% understanding of the medical picture, right? So we don't want to settle a case before we understand the full extent of someone's injuries. We don't want to settle a case before we have a really good understanding of what the future is going to look like with respect to what they're going to go through and the medical treatment that's going to be required for that person. Those are crucial in determining timing. So once you have a full understanding of the injuries related to whatever the incident was, then really it becomes a matter of, is the insurance company being fair, right? And so I'm a little bit calloused as it relates to insurance companies, if I'm being honest. And so quite often in the more significant cases, they aren't being fair. And so it takes time. And this is where your lawyer is really, really going to matter. The lawyer needs to do the things necessary to put the pressure on the insurance company to force them to pay what they should on your case, right? And so sometimes that involves litigating the case in the court system and pushing it up until the verge of trial, right? And so one of the things that generally will motivate insurance companies and big corporations to pay fair money on cases is the imminent threat of a jury, right, deciding how much the case and injuries are worth. Other times we can develop really strategic plans where we call it around here putting them in a pressure cooker, where they feel a lot of pressure to pay fair money on a case. So timing is going to be really, really case specific, assuming that there's a lot of insurance coverage available. And it's really going to depend upon the individual and what their ultimate goals are. So I tell almost every client there are really three types of offers or three ranges of offers. There's the offer that is so low, it's very, very easy for us to tell our clients, don't even think about taking that offer. Let us go do our thing and we're going to get them way, way up. There's the opposite of that, right? So where the offer is so high, it's really, really easy for us to tell our clients, hey, you got to take this offer. This is a great offer and it's going to put you in a really, really good position moving forward. And then there's everything in between those two ranges. And as you probably would guess, most offers are in that middle range. When we're in that range, really what our job becomes is educating the client and saying, hey, these are the pros of this offer. This is what the process is going to look like moving forward. These are the cons. And so we're really giving our clients all of the information and we're allowing them to make the best choice for them. At Chubb Law, we love being in court, if I'm being honest with you. And so we will push as far and as hard as our clients want to push. And if they want to keep pushing because they think that's best for them, then we're always happy to do that. So with respect to timing, it's really case dependent. The amount of insurance coverage is usually the first thing that you're going to look at. Second thing that you're going to look at is you want to have a full and complete understanding of the injuries or loss. And then after that, it really becomes about, is the insurance company or the corporation being fair in what they're offering and how far do you want to go in the process?